Shake, Rattle, and Troll is brought to you by Bill Luke Dodge Chrysler Jeep. Now, here's your host, saltwater fisherman and tournament pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll this morning. 'Tis the season. We're going to wish you an early Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And JK's in the house. Oh, this is going to be painful today. Special guest with us, Jeremy Hoffman. You will know Jeremy Hoffman as the fishing manager and now marketing manager. What else do you manage down there at Sportsman's Warehouse, Jeremy?
Thermal underwear.
Nice!
That's my newest.
I love Jeremy. He just fits right in, you know. No prompting, just thermal underwear.
That's it.
Do you have Gore-Tex to insulate?
Sure.
Nice stuff. Hoorah. Got it on this morning. Compliments to the United States Army. Yeah. Good stuff. Well, we're getting into the throes of the Christmas holiday. Not a lot going on out there. And a little bit of hunting going on. A little bit of fishing if you can dodge the weather. But as we go through the show today, we are, as always, going to do roll call. That's going to be especially painful. Today we have 8 soldiers on roll call that went in last week. We've got an update, and I think what we're going to do is turn the gas up on the feds on the wolf issue. There's an awful lot of disinformation out there, and you need to know the truth, the fact of the matter. So, you know, the CBD and DOW and Lobos of the Southwest and all the pro-wolfers have been saying, oh, the wolves don't attack humans. Wrong. We've got documents to the evidence to the contrary, so we're going to share some of that with you, as well as some of the disinformation that's going on. Also, you know, if you're a hunter or outdoorsman, you're going to be familiar with the name Ted Nugent. The feds are after Brother Ted in a big way.
They've been after Ted for quite a while.
Well, they have, and we've got a little clip we're going to share with you at 7:30. It's about 12 minutes long. It's an interview with Glenn Beck. I like Glenn because he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. He gets right to the bone, spits out the meat, chews on the bone, and he's got an interesting clip with Ted Nugent over the bear issue. Remember the bear issue in Alaska? And feral hogs that were in a pen
that he had to kill.
I don't get it. Well, I do get it. But anyway, you need to listen to that, and then we'll give you an update on Army Specialist Seth Wakeling. So what's on your plate today?
Other than my fantastic glasses.
JK?
I saw those yesterday. They were given. I was at a small family gathering with Karen's children, and
were these Hungarian gypsy families?
No. But one of the youngsters, Tristan, got these, and it was just hilarious. I thought they were the funniest things because he put them on and he was sucking in, I think it was like a grape juice. It was just, and for those who can't see what we're playing with here today, these are clear tubes that form glasses, and you put one end into the beverage container and the other end into your mouth, and as you suck it in, it comes rolling through and it creates glasses that are colored.
Those could literally be beer goggles.
Oh, nice. They would be wonderful.
Jeremy's on. Well, Jeremy, thanks for coming down today. I know you've got a long day, and Sportsman's Warehouse in our community is a big part of the Christmas season. What's going on down there?
It's a madhouse right now.
I'm seeing some just stupid prices down there. I was in the other day, and you had Bushmasters on sale for like $900 and some change.
Yeah, we had 70 of them come in, and they were gone in 2 hours.
Woof. Gone.
So
how's the supply on bullets with the Sportsman's Warehouse?
It's getting better. It's getting a lot better. The only thing that's really still coming just as quick as it's going is a 22.
Oh, yeah.
But everything else is lightening up a little bit. Yeah, that stuff is gone the second we get it in. We have people that wait outside and wait for our truck to pull in, and they come and they go stand in the back and they wait for the pallets with the rounds to come off, and they're trying to grab
bring a bedroll and just like camp out?
Yeah.
Stay overnight.
You and about 50 other people.
No problem. I'll
get cozy. Yeah. But it's getting better. That's not as crazy as it was a year ago.
How about the big bore centerfire rounds and handgun rounds?
It's there.
How about clips for 9mm?
All that stuff lightened up. All the PMags and stuff for the ARs, everything.
Yeah,
it's all staying on the shelves now. So
after they quit being stupid about this stuff, and I kind of expecting there's some legislation starting in mid-January that's probably going to jack it up and become stupid again. So.
Well, last year, right around this date, was a Sandy Hook deal, and that's what really threw everything into gear, and it's taken us a year to recover from that, and we're still not recovered from it. But it's still. Yeah,
I don't ever think it's going to get back to categorically what we would consider to be normal.
Yeah.
I'm listening to KFNX 1100 on the way to the studio this morning. They're talking about buy silver, buy gold. I'm going buy brass and lead.
Yeah. Bigger vanishing species.
Yeah. That's all crazy. What are some of your specials that you're running for the Christmas holiday?
We got a Remington 1911 on right now. We got $100 off all the DPMS ARs, Ruger 1022s.
Nice.
Bunch of oddball stuff.
That is a weapon that everybody's grandson needs to own.
Oh yeah,
or son.
Mm-hmm.
We bought one when Donnie was born. Let's say 40-some years ago, and it went through. The dad has a synthetic stock, folding stock. Went down to the son. Now the grandson has it, and it's all fun.
There's so much stuff you can do to them.
Oh yeah, there's so much.
You can run those things through the damn dirt too, and they still shoot. So
yeah, it's like an AK-47, man.
Yeah,
they're awesome weapons. How about in the fishing department? I have to tell you, and I don't know if I've shared this with you, but ever since Jenny Rigo took over and you got there, Sportsman's Warehouse at Yorkshire Drive and I-17 is a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. You guys have just done one heck of a job over there.
Well, thank you.
There was a time you'd go into Sportsman's Warehouse, gee, I wish you had robo-worms, I wish you had of this, I wish you had of that. It's all there, John.
Yeah, we're trying.
It's like Pro's Choice in the fishing department. They got all the good stuff.
Being the East BF, way out there in the East Valley, I just go over to Greenfield, and they're there.
Steve Ortiz over in Mesa is another guy. I mean, he's all over it.
Yeah.
And any plans to open up any more Arizona stores?
It's in the works. I don't know where yet, but
I heard a sniff maybe rhymes with Flagstaff.
They're doing something up north. I'm not sure what town or whatnot, but I know they have something in the works for Arizona.
There's an equipment rental company for outdoor stuff that I would love to see run out of business up in Flag.
Oh yeah, hiking. Likes wolves in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, likes wolves in the Grand Canyon. And I'd like to grind his face in the Grand Canyon.
Well, I think we ought to take them all, put them out, where they
We need to take them all up to Montana and let them spend a week with the Swiss Army knife up there, communing with the wolves. See how much they enjoy that.
I'm just saying. Yeah, good stuff. Any more news on the grizzly bears and
California reintroduction team?
No, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone?
Yeah, global warming.
It was interesting because the Center for Biological Diversity put this piece out where they stated that they were outraged that there was going to be some taking of the grizz out of the Yellowstone area.
They're going to take them to Sacramento?
No, they're not going to take them. They're going to put them down, which was the biggest concern, and they were screaming about that.
They need to turn them loose in Los Angeles.
Oh, anything west of the Sierra Nevadas, that'd make me real happy. But the biggest point that they were trying to make was that there was a lack of prey, and they said the lack of prey was there because the elk herds had diminished due to quote unquote climate change and global warming, which is the biggest outright lie that the center has put out in a long time. with the reintroduction of over 175 wolves into Yellowstone might have a detrimental effect to the livelihood of elk herds.
You think?
Yeah. Just a tad.
Global warming.
Yeah, global warming.
Yeah, just look at the weather patterns this year. And then the other thing that they apparently have missed, apparently they don't describe to NOAA, the polar caps have increased 65% this year.
Yeah.
65%.
Yep.
Where in the hell is global warming?
It's coming. Oh, that was. Now this is global freezing now.
Al Gore's fired. We're done. Wow. Back to you, Jeremy.
He can do the uptake on this.
Yeah, you know, we have a tendency to get sidetracked. ADD, I haven't had my meds today.
I got a question for you. What's going on with the gizzard shad?
Gizzard shad. Interesting you should ask.
We're making a pate for lunch
we
if
have
you're
found
interested.
Yeah.
1,801 recipes for the gizzard shad.
Good.
Yeah. You know, it's part of the herring family. They can be pickled. They can be creamed.
In a cream sauce. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's a Hungarian thing.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Gizzard shad, Arizona Game and Fish Department has voted Curtis Gill as our new Region 6 Wildlife Manager. Curtis is all over it. They just recently finished an additional 2013 study on the gizzard shad, the effects of the gizzard shad on the largemouth bass, and we are in a situation where we're discussing what the next action is going to be. It's going to be something. Mm-hmm. We've got gill netting on the table. There's been some discussions of some light dosage of rotenone poisoning, and that in and of itself is a long, drawn-out, permitted federal process.
Yeah.
A stocking of additional largemouth Florida strain bass. And, do we need to go to a break now?
Do you think?
All righty, hey. Hold that thought on the gizzard shad. They're good with mustard. We'll be right back.
She gets mad if they're all gone before she. Don't you think it's a pretty good plan? All I want for Christmas is a real good tan.
All righty, we're back. Fielding a question on gizzard shad, and thank you for asking. Gizzard shad is a huge issue over on the Mother Lake. They're going to become a huge issue if we don't figure this out in Apache. They've been confirmed in Apache Lake, and it's kind of like the measles in the third grade. If one kid's got it, we've got 4 lakes right there. They've all got it. They just haven't, Game and Fish can't say, yeah, they're there, because they haven't figured it out yet. They haven't done their scientific research and data study. But I think Game and Fish this year is going to be more proactive than we've seen in 20 years on warm water fisheries. There is a limit, which we never have had on Roosevelt on crappie. Its possession limit's 15 a day. And 6 out of 10 crappie in the past have been released to the grease. And it's hard to sustain a population when you've got that kind of take.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I think the local folks are getting it. There's going to be a big push here yet this month with Tonto National Forest. Before I get into that, one of the things that I have a problem with, when we want to reintroduce or introduce artificial habitat, be it concrete reef balls, the Warnicki Pisces pyramids made out of cedars and wooden pallets with anchors on them. They're a good thing. They'll last, 10, 12 years, maybe.
Yep.
There are 6 permits required, and quite frankly, I've already initiated some investigation on. You have Game and Fish. They have to bless it. Tonto National Forest has to bless it. The Bureau of Land Management has to bless it. The Corps of Army Engineers has to bless it. And last but not least, and there's one more I can't remember, but it rhymes with Salt River Project, SRP. And why they're blessing things that go on the bottom of the lake that don't have anything to do with the water in the lake, I would suggest that they pay attention to, their water levels.
You ever seen their canals?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. More shopping carts in the canals than anywhere else.
It's called habitat. Yeah.
That's fish furniture.
Yeah, fish furniture, absolutely. Yeah. But, the local guys want to put Christmas trees in there this year, and I think that'd be a great idea. The reef ball projects are moving ahead. The first one, we're putting 30 reef balls into Saguaro Lake. The problem with reef balls in Roosevelt is twofold. One, you'd have to have thousands of them to make an impact. The lake's so large. And then the only thing that's actually going to save us is the increase in water level. We're 45 to 48%, whatever it is right now, about 48%. Whatever we do now and the water raises, it's going to be in the wrong spot, which is okay. It's kind of a fail-safe measure if we can get it in, because as the water increases, as you know, we've got all this expanse.
Tremendous room, particularly in Roosevelt.
You've got cacti, trees, wait-a-minute bushes, and this bush and that bush. And,
that whole north end of the lake would just be phenomenal, habitat-wise. You know that.
Yeah, so I think the only thing that makes sense is for you, John, to talk to the chief up at the McDowell tribe and do the rain dance.
On a regular basis?
Snow dance.
Snow dance. Actually, snow dance is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a much, you don't get the runoff.
Yeah.
It's a slower runoff, and we pray for that every winter, that we have a really tremendous bunch of snows.
Jeremy, being the manager up at Sportsman's Warehouse, how much time do you have to hunt and fish?
Actually, quite a bit lately. Not so much right now because of the holidays, but I've been getting out quite a bit lately. Fishing, that's been good.
You do any hunting at all?
Yeah, not a lot of tagging, but I do a lot of hunting.
Yeah.
There is that issue, isn't there?
I'm always hunting for a tag.
Yeah, but I got a ham hunt coming up. I got drawn for a 20B ham with a couple guys from the store, so that'll be fun.
For Javelina?
Of course.
All right, well, look out for some incoming fire from 20A.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the same hunt.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
By the way, you and I are due to pick up our bows starting New Year's Day and head up.
Yes, sir. We're going to be hunting in the Scottsdale Mountain Preserve.
We should. Either that or find Scott. I know he's out trapping right now. He claims that those muleys are all over the place at this time of the year.
Somewhere, he's got a secret location.
In the Bradshaws, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'd be in tune for spending a few days with Scott, learning more about what the trappers do. I've had some.
He said he wanted to blindfold the Prius and bring it up.
Yeah. You're going to need a lift kit.
I have the lift kit. I can jack it up to 12 inches.
What'd you do? Put the hamster cage on it too before? Damn.
It's about it. Yeah. That clearance is, 4 inches, I think, on the Prius? If that.
We were up elk hunting in 6B.
Oh, that was
last year. This year didn't make it. 1 o'clock in the morning, you hear this rattling coming down the road, and lo and behold, it's JK in the Prius, and we are like 34.65 or 68 miles from the highway.
Bad dirt road.
Down 231, off 231A, up on 538D.
I bottomed out several times.
Out of that thing.
No. It's right there. It looks great.
Yeah. So we've got a jacked up, lifted F-250 with a double-blown power stroke in it, thinking, this is good. Here comes the damn Prius.
I saw one guy who was elk hunting, and he was about 20 miles back, and he had the hatch popped up in the back. It's a flying wedge is all it is.
Yeah.
But he had the hatch popped open, and the whole area, both the back seats were folded down, so there was a cargo base, and the whole interior was all covered with plastic just for that. In case that he got that bull elk. He was coming back to his truck. Yeah, absolutely. And
dedication.
I thought, that's impressive, because if he got a big bull, I tried. I could not get my antlers into the Prius unless I occupied part of the front seat, both seats, and that was just the head. Just the head. That's how hard it is to get it
Well,
in.
historically, rednecks, let's say,
Could do.
have been known to cut the head off and tie it to the front bumper. If you had a front bumper.
Now, I saw Chevy Vega on a picture that came out of Montana where they had a full 6x6 over this Chevy Vega, and it was hysterical because it sank the car almost.
Across the hood?
Oh, the whole length of the vehicle. The whole length of the vehicle was a big 6x6 that they had. They had gutted it, and that was it. And they were hauling it home, and it was just hysterical. The guy, I had like 5 pictures of that. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever
crazy.
seen. Yeah,
That would be a sight to see.
Well, the things you see out in the woods are just, they make you go.
We, as the male species, we do tend to improvise. And we do it better than everybody.
Well, some of the fun's been taken out of it with the advent of the ATVs, and I don't know whether I dislike them so bad because they're such a pain in the rear hunting, or that I don't have one.
If you cross over to that side, I will hurt you. Don't do it.
I have an OHV. It's heavy enough I don't have to buy the sticker.
Yeah.
I may put one out just for...
It also qualifies as a forest clearing device, a road grader, supreme, anything you want it to be.
Listen, we're getting ready to flip into a break. When we come back, we're going to go right straight to Ted Nugent. You need to listen to this. This is what the feds are up to. If you guys live in a box, and part and parcel why we're so adamant about no more wolves. We need to take the power away from the Fish and Wildlife Service summarily and take our land back. We'll talk about that. I'm Don McDowell with
Jeremy Hoffman,
John Colazar,
Special K.
Hippie rock and roll music. Rock icon, best-selling author Ted Nugent is with us now from Los Angeles, where last week you had to meet with the Secret Service. Who is it this week, Ted?
Well, I'm out running the crucifiers right now, Glenn, but I want to wish a happy, joyous Independence Day to my blood brothers in Israel, and a happy Independence Day to you and America every day. No, I'm out here rocking and rolling, taking care of business. I get up early every day and I go to work. I seek not to disrupt society. I seek to spread the truth, live the American dream of being the best that I can be. And just by doing the right thing, it upsets maniacs everywhere. I couldn't be more proud.
You were, I want to talk a little bit about something, Ted, that you were, I don't think I would have had the control that you have had for the last, almost 2 years now. You went up to Alaska, you were hunting black bear. There is a law just in this little piece of Alaska. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It is basically, if you are fishing and you get a strike, but you lose the fish, it doesn't matter. That counts as one fish. You were hunting for your TV show. You were hunting with bow and arrow. What happened?
Well, I do it every year. I've been hunting in Alaska since 1977, been hunting all my 63 years. I take my children and I take wounded warriors and I take terminally ill children on various hunts around the country. And because I am the top spokesman in the world, I'm not bragging, it just ended up in my lap because nobody else was doing it, to promote conservation and ethical, lawful hunting and Second Amendment rights. I have been really demonized and attacked with just vicious hate throughout my career and my life. And I take it as a badge of honor, because if you're not really upsetting idiots, you might be an idiot. So I conduct myself the way my parents raised me. I diligently examine all the laws, and I know all the laws, I thought. But there was an obscure, unprecedented new law in Alaska that said if your arrow or bullet comes in contact with the animal, even in a non-lethal hit, a non-injuring hit, that your tag is no good, which means you don't have a valid tag to use on the animal you eventually kill. Well, no one in camp, no one in town, no one in Craig, no one in Ketchikan, and just the other day in court, the judge who lives there, a hunting judge, lifetime resident of Canada, in the region where the law exists, only where this law exists, the judge admitted on the court records he's never heard of this law. So was I blindsided and did I break the law? Yes, I had no intention. In fact, I showed it for 50 million people on Spirit of the Wild TV and Outdoor Channel,
so
clearly proving there was no intent.
Right. If you were going to break the law, why would you put it on TV? I mean, that
good
doesn't make any
question,
sense.
Glenn.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Now let's get down to it, because it's so much more than this little guy in Alaska. They were threatening you with a felony and threatening you with prison time.
Yeah, based on the illegally killing of a black bear on these federal islands. Again, this is the only area where this law has ever existed in the history of wildlife management. The feds came after me. The state of Alaska did not come after me, but the federal U.S. Attorney's Office did come after me, and they indicated that I could spend a year in prison and pay a $100,000 fine for potential felony Lacey Act violations, illegally taking an illegal killed animal across, I thought it was across state lines or international lines, but it also seems to be that if you bring that illegally caught fish or illegally taken animal from the federal property back to state property. Again, this is all convoluted. I had all the licenses, the tags. I registered my bait. I made sure that everything was legal. The boat was legal. My bow was legal. My kids were legal. Everybody in camp was legal. But there's this obscure, bizarre law that no one ever heard of, including the judge, including guides and outfitters and Alaska residents, that I mistakenly broke. So I admitted to my guilt, but they were pressuring me. Year in jail was the maximum, $100,000 fine, and a felony conviction, which means no guns for Ted Nugent, no hunting for Ted Nugent, no voting for Ted Nugent, and maybe an indicator to America that if you brush against our voice in the U.S. government, you better learn to shut up, because we can shut Ted Nugent up about his guns and his hunting, so you better just be nice and obedient.
Okay, real quick, because I want to get to the pigs here in a minute, but I want to go to the California deer hunt. Can you tell that in a short? Because I think this is important. It just shows the constant pressure on you to shut up.
It has been really constant, I got to tell you. Boy, it's heartbreaking. I go to California and hunt. I go everywhere. I meet with the game department, Glenn. I get all the licenses, all the tags, examine the region to be 100% legal. I killed a deer. We put it on Spirit of the Wild. Somebody claimed it was an illegal deer and that there was bait on the ground when I was hunting over acorns in an apple orchard. There was no bait. We used no bait. 36 federal and state agents pre-dawn guns drawn raid on my three friends who have never been arrested for anything in their life, the greatest families ever, kicking down doors, confiscating everything out of their homes, guns and bows and pictures and antlers and food out of the freezer. And one agent, John Laughlin of the California Fish and Game, literally sneered at my friend Mitch Moore as he reached in and grabbed a pair of brass knuckles from a room not on the search warrant, a search warrant he got by lying to the judge that he knew Mitch Moore because he'd never met him before in his life. I don't believe these guys aren't being prosecuted. And he held up the brass knuckles and said to my gun-collecting, gunsmith, big game hunting Fred, help us get Nugent, and these felony brass knuckles will go away. Make your own conclusion on that.
Now let's go to the pigs in Michigan.
So the pigs that I have are the wrong color. Let me be perfectly clear. I have a lever-action rifle. You shoot it by cocking the lever. The feds or the government comes in and says, I'm sorry, that is now a machine gun. I go, but it's not a machine gun. It's a lever action. Well, last night we decided lever actions were machine guns. Last night we decided that pigs in your pen were mysteriously feral. Everybody knows that feral animals are domestic animals that have escaped from the pen. If they're in the pen, they can't be feral. The invasive species order in Michigan is fraudulent, criminal, and against the U.S. Constitution. And family farmers are having to destroy their livestock based on the fraudulent misuse of the English language that the government of Michigan and the DNR officers, armed officers, are enforcing a fraudulent order. God help us all. I had to go in and slaughter my livestock, kill the pigs because they met some strange lie description that they were feral. Well, if they were feral, what were they doing in my pen? I'm telling you, Glenn, this is unbelievable. Now my oryx in Texas, that because we can hunt them and value the surplus harvest every year, are thriving. And the federal agent from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service chuckled at me today and said you're going to need permits to touch your own private animals and continue with the system by which these animals have flourished. I'm telling you, it wouldn't qualify as Planet of the Apes. These people are out of control. We need a few good men that will blow the whistle. That's what I'm I'm doing, and that's what you're doing, and a lot of Americans are standing up because these are critical and dangerous times. That's what I meant at the NRA.
Tell me, I know that, Ted, and that's why I was so pissed. Now, hopefully the viewers will know why I was so pissed last week when they were meeting with you, and I did this monologue, and I was really angry. And I was angry, and I couldn't tell these stories. You've asked me to be quiet, about these stories and not say anything. And I've watched one of the most honorable men I know, a guy who is absolutely friends with absolutely every military guy I've ever seen, friends with every kind of marshal and sheriff and law enforcement official, absolutely an environmentalist best friend. And they're crucifying this guy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say that they're actually but that's the only thing they haven't done. One more thing, sir. Tell me about the animal that has 3 legs that is on your farm.
Well, I'm a steward of wildlife resources. My wildlife property thrives with biodiversity and thriving populations of wildlife and cool bugs and butterflies and vegetation. I am the czar of flora and fauna. You know it. I plant trees every year because I train my children and taught my children that as consumers we should put more back into the earth than we take. So we bought a bunch of scimitar horned oryx that have been breeding and reproducing every year. We sell off the older bulls to generate revenues and family hours of recreation, licenses, guides, permit, hotels, food, lodging, gas, taxidermy, ice, butchers. Are you kidding me? I got this one-man army of job creation. And now, out of nowhere, a judge has sided with an animal rights maniac, putting to end the system by which the oryx have now become thriving and populated, and they're absolutely stable and growing. And now we're implementing a system based on this federal U.S. Fish and Wildlife. The judge made it happen, but U.S. Fish and Wildlife is enforcing it. I have a crippled 3-legged calf that was born about 12 days ago. It's crippled, it's injured, it's in pain and suffering. A good, honest, conscientious person would put it out of its misery. If I were to do the right thing, I would be committing a felony, Glenn. And this U.S. Fish and Wildlife officer laughs at me today and says it's a good system. This is unbelievable.
You know what? This is the same group of people. Next Friday, we're doing a special on people here in America from the left that are actually saying that crippled children should be put down. Crippled children should be put down. You're not going to believe this show. You are not going to believe this. Yeah. So they're saying that about crippled children, that we should kill crippled children. But a crippled calf? No. No, this is insane. Ted, I said this to you. I think I've said this to you for the last year or so, and I mean it more and more every day. With firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. I will stand by your side all the way. All the way.
Thank you, Glenn. And let me tell you, if some of the agents are getting angry at me for what I'm saying, that would be guilt. Because if you know the right thing, how dare you not blow the whistle like those heroes of the ATF on Fast and Furious?
They're not.
That's your job.
Do you know why? You know why they're not blowing the whistle, Ted?
Because they're afraid of losing their jobs.
No, they're not. No, they're not. This president is employing the Espionage Act, and anyone who blows the whistle, they're facing 30 years in jail. That's
right. You're correct about that.
That's why.
You're correct.
And it's only going to get worse, America. It's only going to get worse. You've got to say something. If you see something, say something. And we have to stand together. Ted, thank you. God bless.
We need that other. All right, and we're back. Interesting stuff from Ted Nugent. That's some of the stuff that's going on in there that.
Selective application of the Lacey Act. As you and I were chatting about it.
Explain that in a little bit more in depth.
Well, as Ted pointed out, if you take an animal that is illegally taken from federal lands and you move it to state land, it's a violation of the Lacey Act. Now,
what's the penalty? Is that a felony?
Oh, it's a felony. So every wild game and fish problem that we have in Arizona with poaching that comes before the Arizona Game and Fish Commission. Over 90% of them are animals that are taken on federal national forest.
Yeah.
That's federal land, national forest, and taken to their home, which is state land. The feds would be prosecuting thousands of violations of the Lacey Act every year.
Why isn't the court upholding that?
Because they don't, it's an application that doesn't take place.
Is that a citation that needs to come down from AZGFD, dot enforcement?
No, because what's happening is all the violations of poaching are handled in-house. It's a state matter. The feds aren't becoming involved with it, except what they did with Ted Nugent on that one particular case.
Shut him up.
Yeah, exactly. It's selective application. It's a lack of due process. It's a lack of everything that you want to see.
Jeremy and I were talking earlier about men in black suits, but I think it's men in Smokey Bear hats.
I think so.
Yeah. How much crap do you see? I know you get out a lot. What are you seeing out there as far as discontent? I mean, you've got to have...
You have to hear from folks coming through the stores.
Your customer base is just so deep. What's the mood?
Disengaged.
Yeah.
Disengaged. Well, the fact of the matter is we live in a 50% society. 50% people they don't get it.
No.
The other 50% don't care.
Yeah. Well, if you look at it, there's less than 1% that are actively involved within any time frame helping the Game and Fish Department on projects. You know that.
Yeah, I get it. And for the 5,000 or 6,000 hours we spend, it would be nice to get a conservation bonus point, or special consideration.
That conservation bonus point will go with me to my grave. I'm going to keep pushing it every year.
Absolutely. All right, Jeremy, let's give this about 2 more minutes. What can you offer the guys coming into Sportsman's Warehouse for the holiday?
Well, what we got left? We just got it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. The women have been finished shopping. This weekend, today, tomorrow, and Tuesday is men's time to do the hunting for presents.
Well, here's the deal. Sportsman's Warehouse.
That's our zone.
Replaced Yellowfront.
Yeah,
Remember
they did.
Yellowfront?
Oh, yeah.
You can go to Sportsman's Warehouse, in and out, do one lap around. You can buy something for your whole family.
Yep.
Men, women, kids, dogs, cats.
Honey, you look great in that camouflage.
Nice!
That's it.
Go ahead. Back to you.
But yeah, we just got a bunch of new PAL rods in yesterday or 2 days ago, and we already got rid of quite a few of them in the last couple of days, and those are nice rods. We got some PAL, got some of the older Shimano stuff's on sale right now, and all those Corrados and Chronarchs and stuff that they're getting rid of and bringing the new stuff in. And
nice.
We got the new.
So is this like a liquidation?
Yeah, it's just out with the old and with the new stuff, so they're marking it down and getting it out, so you can get $40-$50 off a lot of that stuff right now. So
Bill Chrysler, Jeep and Dodge doing the same thing. Still take trade-ins, JK.
No, the Prius isn't going away yet. Not quite yet. But I'm crossing 200,000 miles on that next week.
200,000?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's 3 years old. 3.5.
How many hamsters have you been through?
75.
Nice. All righty, we're going to get to the uncomfortable part of Shake, Rattle, and Troll Weekly. This is called Roll Call for December 22nd. We've lost 8 soldiers this past week. We'll get into 6 of them went down in a helicopter crash, but the first one we want to honor today is Navy Petty Officer First Class James L. Smith. Died December 11th, 2013, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. 38 years old, out of Huffman, Texas. Petty Officer was assigned to Naval Mobile Construction Battalion 28th out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And he died in Germany from a non-combat incident. I don't know what that is.
I don't either. Marine Lance Corporal Matthew R. Rodriguez died December 11th, 2013, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. He was 19 years old of Fairhaven, Massachusetts, assigned to the 1st Combat Engineering Battalion, 1st Marine Division, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force out of Camp Pendleton, California. Died while conducting combat operations in Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
The following 6 soldiers were all killed in a helicopter crash, UH-60, in Bahar, Afghanistan. The first one I'm going to read off is the 151st Arizona soldier killed in action since this whole thing began, and our hearts and prayers and thoughts certainly go out to his family and all the other 5 soldiers involved in this particular incident. That was December 17th, 2013, during Operation Enduring Freedom. Army Chief Warrant Officer Joshua B. Silverman, 35 years old, out of Scottsdale, was assigned to the 3rd Assault Helicopter Battalion, 1st Aviation Regiment, 1st Combat Aviation Brigade of the 1st Infantry Division out of Fort Riley, Kansas. The flags were flown over the governor's office at half-staff in honor of our Arizona soldier.
Army Specialist Terry K.D. Gordon, 22 of Shibuya, Mississippi, assigned to the 1st Squadron, 6th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Combat Aviation Brigade, 1st Infantry Division out of Fort Riley, Kansas.
Army Sergeant First Class Omar W. Ford, 28 years old, out of Marietta, Georgia, assigned same thing to the headquarters and headquarters company, 1st Combat Aviation Brigade, 1st Infantry Division, Fort Riley.
Army Sergeant Peter Bowler, 28 of Willow Spring, North Carolina, again assigned to the 3rd Assault Helicopter Battalion, 1st Aviation Regiment, 1st Combat Aviation Brigade, 1st Infantry Division out of Fort Riley.
Army Chief Warrant Officer 2 Randy L. Billings, 34 years old, out of Havana, Oklahoma, Fort Riley, Kansas.
Army Staff Sergeant Jesse L. Williams, 30, out of Elkhart, Indiana, assigned to the headquarters and headquarters troop, Regimental Support Squad, 2nd Cavalry Regiment out of Bislek, Germany.
That is the price for freedom last week, guys. Again, our hearts and prayers to their family and their units. They've given the ultimate sacrifice for your freedom. Now, the good news, on the other hand,
Seth is back.
Yes, Specialist Seth Wakeling stepped off the airplane under his own power Friday afternoon, about 4:20 in the afternoon, and was met by about 100 folks, his family, Brian Wakeling and his dad, and a lot of other folks there, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, former soldiers, disabled soldiers, and I have to tell you, Seth motored out of there under his own power.
He looked good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It was nice to see. I mean, when you stop an airport with all the cheering that was going on and the clapping, that was cool.
And a special thanks to AZ TV3 for showing up. All the other television stations were notified of Seth's homecoming, and for some reason they didn't make it. But kudos to Arizona Family TV3. I'm Don McDowell. Think about what we just said. All righty, we're back. We have a special guest. Not that you're not a special guest. Yeah, you're really a special guest.
In a different way.
Yeah. So you're right there with Special K. Dr. Barr has joined us, and what is your exact specialty? Can I call you a dermatologist? A skin guy?
Absolutely, Don. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming down. I know it's early for you doctors.
No problem. I'm a board-certified dermatologist.
Really?
Yes.
And how long did it take you to become one of those?
Well, it takes 4 years of medical school and then an additional 4 years of residency after that.
So I was right. 8 years of medical school, and you come up with the word crusty for a condition on my back.
What can I say? That's right.
Done. I get it. You know, thanks for coming down. We have a fairly large presence on Anglers Health and Fitness, which covers a gamut of things that we do wrong. And it pretty much covers all of the outdoors venue folks. The hunters aren't any. They're probably a little bit better than the anglers, but the anglers are just terrible. We're exposed to sun. We don't hydrate like we're supposed to. We don't use the sunblock like we know we should.
Mm-hmm. And, you're just sitting there, for crying out loud.
Well, yeah, but, you know, when we grew up, the ozone layer was more thick. We thought we were solar powered. and it wasn't anything to walk around all summer just peeling from sunburn.
So you do believe in climate change.
But not global warming.
Okay.
Well, Don, I tell you, the kids are even worse now. They do all that, and in addition, now they have tanning beds.
Don't go there.
Is that a problem, the tanning beds?
Absolutely. Mayo Clinic did a study of women only, and they found that women that had been to 40 or more tanning bed sessions in their lifetime have a 75 times higher risk of melanoma than women that haven't.
Whoa! 75 times higher if
Yes.
you've used 40 times on a tanning bed.
Yep.
That ought to put them all out of business pretty quick.
Yeah, no. America's stupid. I mean, look at the stuff that we're fighting on the ground.
That's true.
And you deliberately walk into a microwave to get tanned. It's cooked, John.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's cooking, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as a healthy tan.
What would be your advice for, let's say, a guy that we both know, Dr. John Belden, to go out in the boat?
You know, you want to reduce your UV exposure as much as you can. I tell my patients every single day, even if you're inside all day, wear a minimum of SPF 30 every day on your face. Yeah, and if you're going to be out fishing, big brim hats, but you also need the sunblock underneath the hat because the UV bounces right off the water. You know, right
comes
off
up under it.
You betcha.
Yeah, get your chin sunburned. What about long sleeve? And we're getting into some technological advances available at Sportsman's Warehouse, by the way, of the shirts and long sleeve jerseys that have the UV protectant in them.
Absolutely, the more the better. The more the better. I'm not expecting my patients to be out wearing a burqa like an Iraqi woman, but you want to do the best you can.
We do have schmogs. Okay.
I got to wrap my hands around that.
What?
Burqa. The thought of that just blew me right out of the water.
Yeah.
I was tracking with everything until he said, we don't want you wearing burqas. I thought, oh, no. Don't go there.
Well, they wear them for a reason, let's say. How about, is there anything we can do to prep for being out on the boat, let's say?
Well, you want to find a nice facial moisturizer or sunblock with the higher SPF. The higher number, the better. Now, SPF 30 will block about 99% of the UV reaching your skin. So the difference between a 30 and, say, an SPF 100, the minute you put it on, is the same. However, the 30 is going to rub off faster. So you want to get the higher the number, the better, so that a few hours later...
Yeah, I think anything over 48 almost looks like the zinc paste that you put on it. It's difficult to rub in.
Right.
Yeah. How about protection for our lips? That seems to be, in my case, no matter what I do.
Crusty.
Yeah. No,
that's what Jan says.
No, man, they blister and peel.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. What you want to do, again, they have lip preparations, lip balms that have the SPF in it.
Sure.
Is SPF 15 good enough on your lip balms?
15 is not. An SPF of 15 will block about 50% of the UV reaching your skin. You want to up that to a 30 if you can.
I didn't know that. And a lot of the lip balms, I sell a lot of those lip balms through promotional apparel type stuff to a lot of dentists and other places that give them as a giveaway, but most of them are only SPF 15, so Correct. They're not doing the job.
They're not. They're blocking half of the UV that's
better
reaching
than
your
nothing.
skin.
Yeah.
But it's better than nothing, you're right.
Well, better than chapstick. I mean, you here again, it's conditioning. I grew up on chapsticks. So
yeah, we were marketed Susie Chapstick. I know.
Yeah, Susie Chapstick.
It's the only one I remember. I can't imagine why.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know.
Probably just as well. What about hydration? Because what we're advocating through the medical doctors is to hydrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Does it help our skin? Historically, we'll be on the water. Let's take a normal week for a Saturday event. We'll pre-fish Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do we need to start loading up on water on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. You want to drink as much water as possible, just medically speaking. If you're urinating, your urine should be almost clear. Maybe a little tint of color. If it's any darker than that, that's your body's way of telling you need more water.
One of the things I found, too, is that you will develop kidney problems if you don't hydrate properly.
Sure.
And I had that issue. I found that I used to hike a lot, but I would only drink Diet Coke instead of water.
Ooh.
And what it did was
You have
it
stones?
dehydrated. No, they had to take the kidney. I lost a kidney to cancer. And that's not a pleasant experience. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. But now I try and drink as much water as I do coffee during the day.
Absolutely.
And I only drink the decaf.
Ooh.
So it's there's certain issues with it, but you want to make sure. And I know it. Everybody knows it. If like when I'm done with my real hard workouts in the morning, after that, you get a condensation of everything. It's bright yellow, or it should be clear, but you're not hydrated. You can't. I mean, it's a real process, and particularly here in Arizona, it's really difficult to maintain that type of level because you're not aware of what you're losing because of the dryness of the heat. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So if I punch you in the kidneys, it's not really going to have an effect.
Depends on which side. There isn't one on where you should be.
Okay, well, film at 11.
Yeah, well, that's why we have two.
Jeremy, do you have any questions? You're out there slugging away on the water and out in the woods.
What
do you do to prep?
I don't do a single thing. I'm a bad person to ask on that one.
You're gonna go see Dr. Barr.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably be there sooner than later.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Well, there is. It's like if you have a boat motor, it's got a prop on it. You're gonna see Props Plus. If you have teeth, you're gonna see the dentist. And if you go outside,
you're going to see Dr.
and don't take care of yourself, you're going to be down at Dr. Barr.
I used to use sunblock and everything all the time, and it feels like I've almost built up a resistance now to where I don't get sunburnt anymore. I don't peel. I don't do anything like that. I could be out there all day, so it's stupid, I know. Sooner than later, like I said, I'll be in there, but I unfortunately am...
The best thing you could do living in Arizona, this is what I tell my patients, is try to find a face moisturizer with 30 SPF or better. Wear it every day, just like aftershave, just like brushing your teeth in the morning. That should be the next step. Boom, face moisturizer, SPF 30.
What about post tournament or post fishing? Is there anything we need to do afterwards with additional moisturizers, or does the stuff with the aloe vera in it? Is it any better than anything else?
No, it's not.
That was a big wave. It cost extra. And
yep. Truth be told, your skin will be happiest in a suit of Vaseline. So I tell patients get whatever.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Get whatever's cheap. And avoid fragrance. Avoid Bed Bath Body Work places with all the fragrance. Just stick with something like Cetaphil or Aveeno, or even, like I said, even Vaseline.
Vaseline.
You betcha.
How about coconut oil or coconut oil?
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh. Vaseline. All this stuff on the market, and it boils back down to Vaseline.
My heels, my heels are cracked. I've been trying to keep up with the Vaseline and socks overnight.
Thank you. Yeah.
Keep them moisturized. If you do get those little cracks, get some over-the-counter super glue, seal them up.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's what super glue was
glue.
invented for. Crazy glue. That was invented for Vietnam to seal wounds. That's where it came from.
I've used it more than once.
I have too.
Wow. Alrighty, having said that, we will be back with more from the good doctor. I am Don McDowell.
Jason Barr.
Jeremy Hoffman.
John Colazar.
Special K.
Special K.
Yeah.
When the ship's bell ring, could it be the north wind making? Sometimes it seems so useless to remain, but you don't have to call me darling, darling.
All right, darling, sit down. No dancing in the studio. Wow. So, some of the other issues that we face, Dr. Barr, are the tops of our ears.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where we put the zinc?
You betcha.
Looks funny, but it'll save your ears.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many anglers I know that have a portion of an ear missing.
Sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Or a nose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Real serious out there. You take Jerry Tate as an example. Jerry spends 250 plus days on the water, and he's had his bout with it.
I've never thought about that, but the tops of my ears too. As much time as I spend out in the woods.
Exactly. And we wear ball caps
ball
and
caps.
not the
Wide brim.
lettuce picker hats, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This is not good news.
Day late and a dollar short.
What's the effect on non-UV glasses maybe getting out of your realm, but the effect on your eyes?
They can also have negative effects for the eyes. You can actually get cancers of the eye, and you can get damage to your retina and your cornea. And I'm sure your ophthalmologist would tell you to wear UV protectant lenses as well.
Heavy, yeah. Heavy UV, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anymore it's rarely will I wear a short sleeve T-shirt like John.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, long sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
Generally don't go out without a hat.
Good deal.
Don't go outside without the heavy UVs.
Good deal.
And I'm terrible about putting on sunblock.
Yeah, you're horrid about that.
I hate it.
I know.
I hate putting it. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to. I'm not going to yell at you.
Well,
but,
that's kind of the prompting throughout this whole Angler's Health and Fitness. I drink too much coffee, and trying to wean yourself off of coffee is a task.
Mm-hmm.
And drink a glass of water. It just doesn't happen. But we get into the tournament season. That's a whole nother ball game. Wednesday, it's water, just to get as hydrated as I can. And then the other thing is food intake. It's physics. If it goes in, it's going to come out, and you don't need a lot of stuff coming out on Saturday morning, let's say.
Gotcha.
So what I've learned is a thin crust pizza just evaporates. It vanishes. So, if that's what your supper is on Friday night, you don't have to worry about a large discharge, let's say, on Sunday.
That's graphic. Thank you.
Well,
I can visualize.
I went through this with Barry Lewis. Barry invariably would go out to dinner. He loved Italian.
Oh, no.
And it was, I'm telling you, I'm not going to get graphic, but it was just awful on the boat.
TMI.
Yeah, exactly. TMI.
Yeah. Any thoughts you want to share, Jeremy? How about jerky?
Yeah.
Jerky and a glass of
I'll
water.
have to try the thin crust pizza next time.
See, the nice thing about hunting is that there's always another tree.
Trees.
There's another bush. There's another down timber log. You don't have to worry.
Is there any truly unscented sunblock that hunters can wear? We're depending on what we're hunting, we're scent sensitive.
Mm-hmm. I'd say the purest thing you can find is a brand called Vanacream. You usually find it at Target.
Vanacream?
Vanacream. They make a cleansing bar. They make moisturizers for the most sensitive of skins, because Vanacream has absolutely no added fragrance or added other ingredients. So people that have the most sensitive skin, I steer towards Vanacream brand, and they make an SPF 30 and an SPF 50 that has no chemical sunscreens at all, just physical block. Now, because it doesn't have any chemical sunscreens, it does go on a little bit chalky, so you have a little bit of chalky effect.
Rub.
But that's the purest stuff you can get.
Will it rub in?
Yes,
for the most part.
For the most part, but you will still have a little bit of that chalky type look.
Yeah,
it'll look good in your beard.
There you go.
Would you like to do me the honors? You may remove something from him.
It's his larynx. That's what they're after.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. How long have you been practicing, and how many stores do you have?
We have
clinics. I'm sorry.
Affiliated Dermatology. We have 4 offices: North Scottsdale, Anthem, Surprise, and Deer Valley. And I joined the group in 2006. So I've been here in the Valley helping people since 2006.
God, you look good for somebody that's that young.
Well, thank you.
Do you practice on yourself?
I don't, although I have had about 12 moles removed myself.
Oh, man. Yeah, we need to talk about moles. That's a whole another can of things.
You're exactly right. The way you should think about skin cancers is melanoma and non-melanoma skin cancer. Now, we're talking about sun-exposed, tops of ears, that such. That is non-melanoma skin cancer. That is carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma or basal cell carcinoma.
That's bad.
Well, not necessarily. Those are the cancers of the actual brick cells, the keratinocytes that make up our skin. That's the most common skin cancers, and that's the ones that are from chronic UV exposure. So those are going to be on face, hands, carcinomas. Yeah,
that's what I had chopped off the back.
They usually don't spread. They're not the ones that's going to kill you, but they'll grow right through cartilage, bone, muscle. They'll take an ear off. They'll take a nose off if you neglect them. So those are the ones I like to catch early, cut them out, and you're cured.
Yikes.
The flip side of that is melanoma. That can be head to toe. That's not from chronic UV exposure because more often than not, people that get melanoma work indoors rather than outdoors. And melanoma usually occurs on covered areas of skin rather than uncovered. So the relationship between UV exposure and melanoma is not clearly understood. There are more melanomas on more sun-common areas like Arizona and Australia. There's more cases of melanoma where there's more sun. But the relationship between UV exposure and melanoma is not quite understood as well.
What do you look for? What do you look for a melanoma?
For a melanoma, A, B, C, D, E's, asymmetry. If one half of the mole looks different than the other half. B is border, irregular borders, not a smooth. If it looks like United States, that's not good. It should be smooth and round. C is color, multiple colors or anything black. D is diameter bigger than 6 millimeters or a pencil eraser. And E is evolving, any mole that's changing. Moles should not change. They should not grow, bleed, itch, anything at all.
Uh-oh.
And that can be head to toe, like I said. So that's why once a year you need to come to see me or someone like me to look you over head to toe.
That's a really good idea.
Because with melanoma, your only chance is to catch them and remove it before it spreads.
So are you suggesting fish naked with sunblock? Is that what I heard you just say?
No. I'm suggesting just make sure you see a dermatologist once a year and keep an eye on yourself about once a month. Just when you step out of the shower, look yourself over, check your back out in the mirror, make sure nothing's new or...
It's crusty.
Yeah, well...
Right here.
Yeah, you've got some crusties. That's okay. It comes with wisdom.
Thank you.
Don, if everybody's out there fishing naked, I think our summer lake guys...
Fishing would perk up a whole bunch.
Hey... When you're in the humbug?
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
Oh, no. No.
Depending on what time of year, I guess.
Well, yeah, let's say 4th of July in the humbug is like 4th of July in Copper Canyon up on Havasu.
Yeah.
I can't speak to that.
Let's just say, Doc, it's exposed.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. What about the effects of coffee, the things we drink? Does that have any effect on our skin?
It doesn't. Your overall health in general does. You want a nice, healthy immune system. The truth is we all grow thousands of cancer cells every day in our body, and it's our immune system's job to destroy them. So there's a constant battle going on a daily basis.
How do warts come into the picture?
A wart is a viral infection, the human papillomavirus, of which there are 100 different subtypes, some of which cause common warts, where your skin cells get infected with the wart virus and you get a little bump.
And why do we get the wart virus?
That's just right there in one area of skin.
We get it just cause?
Yeah, just cause. Just like you do the cold or the flu.
I always thought it was because we rooted around in the dirt too often and we picked them up from that. No?
No, that's an old wives' tale.
Cool. It's a gypsy tale. It lives on.
4th generation gypsy. Watch your chickens.
Gotcha.
All righty, we're going to stand down enjoying Dr. Barr, Jeremy from Sportsman's Warehouse,
Special
and JK.
K.
Always been a pleasure. We're going to do the Room Country Custom Fishing Report when we come back.
Well, the morning's kind of damp. I'm not worried about cutting the grass. Left my
We're back getting ready to go with James Guggenauer from Rim Country Custom Rods, our master rod builder. James, what is happening, my brother?
Hey, good morning, Don, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
And,
you too, James.
And to you and yours.
Hey, I'm doing well. Got to go down fishing this week at Roosevelt Lake, and didn't catch too many fish, but had a good time on the water. The water temperature is about 56 to 58 degrees if you go in the afternoon in the cove.
That surprises me. I thought it'd be a little bit colder by now.
I thought it would be too. It's definitely dropping. We've been hearing reports of going down. But we were using a jigging spoon, and we caught a couple of fish on that. And we went over to the coves in the afternoon because we thought it would be a little bit warmer there. And we were trying some reaction-type baits back in there that didn't do much good back in those areas. So finished up the day with 2 fish. But the good news is I was fishing with my nephew Nathan Acosta, who just came back from Afghanistan.
Yes, good for him. What was Nate's duties in theater?
Nate is a medic, and he's with an infantry battalion over there. And so, yeah, he won, for those familiar with these awards, he has a combat medic ribbon, which kind of is an award that's received for saving a soldier's life during combat. Man. So, we're pretty happy, pretty proud of him, and it's all going good there. I was glad to be able to spend a day out on the water with him.
Absolutely. Just a quick question: how's his head?
Good.
Okay.
He's one of the ones that he said, no matter how many times you ask me how I feel, I'm going to give you the same answer. I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Did you happen to fish out there in Roosevelt in the rain?
Wasn't in the rain, but we sure had some overcast clouds when we were there. And, I can even tell everybody we were fishing right outside of Sally Mae Cove, right in the main channel there. For those that are familiar with that area, there's some pretty nice drop-offs. And for jigging spoons, that's a good place to fish.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot. Yeah.
There were probably 10 boats that I could count in that area, but on the rest of the lake we couldn't find another boat. It sounded like everybody was right in that same area.
Huh.
We also saw some crappie anglers in there, and we went over and talked to them for a while, and they hadn't been doing very good either. But they said that they are seeing schools of crappie. It was just hard to get them to bite, and that might have been because of the cold front that went through or something down there.
Yeah, we've got Jeremy Hoffman, manager for Sportsman's Warehouse, and he was asking earlier about the gizzard shed. We kind of went over some of the things that we're doing there, and we'll be looking into the processing. One of the things that came out of that Roundtable 3 meeting was the number of permits that we need to get, supposed to have, for habitat placement.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start questioning some of those because we've got 6 different agencies that have to bless putting in a Christmas tree, Salt River Project being one of them, and since they deal with water levels and not necessarily habitat or what's in the water, I'm just going to start questioning why we have to have all these things when it's actually under the watch of Tonto National Forest, and I don't think Army Corps of Engineers has anything to say about it, nor the BLM or Salt River Project, so I'm just saying.
Right, and you might very well be correct on. We will be, this week is the week that we will be updating our charge with Chief Cantrell and the Game and Fish guys. So maybe we'll get some updates on those. I know that there are questions being asked. If, are you interested? Is this something you need to do? And, maybe they just come back with a simple no, and we're complete with those actions.
Well, next week, guys, what we're going to be doing, we're not going to get into it this week for obvious reasons, but Jim, we're going to kind of turn up the gas a little bit on the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Center for Biological Diversity, Defenders of Wildlife, or any other idiot that wants wolves or grizzly bears back on the ground. We've got some information on wolf attacks on humans in North America. There's over 80 documented cases. We'll get into that. One of them, by the way, was running around about 20 miles an hour on a snow machine.
I saw that.
Got yanked off there by the arm. Yeah, pretty interesting. And then we've got some other truth on disinformation being spread by the Fish and Wildlife Service, specifically, not to mention some of the crap that's coming out of CBD or DOW.
So. Center for Biological Diversity loves to do that. When they say that the elk herds have been depleted out of Yellowstone because of climate change and global warming, and it had nothing to do with the implosion, the influx of 170-some Canadian gray wolves. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 to the center.
No,
they can't get out of that
and
one.
how many grizzly bears are they going to take out?
They didn't specify a number. They just said there's too many now. There's not enough of a food base. And what's going to happen when you got two top-line predators all competing for the same, prey base, and that prey base went from 20,000 to under 4,000?
Well,
somebody's going to starve.
Well, they've already eaten themselves out of a house, and now they're eating themselves out of a home. So.
Yep. It's interesting, though, how just one statement can just turn public opinion. At the meeting up there in Pine Top, when one of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife representatives said there have been no documented reports of wolves attacking humans.
We have documentation on 80 attacks.
Right.
And some fatalities.
The other thing is the following week, I thought this was kind of ironic. There is a talk show here in Payson, and it's on every day, and right after the Pine Top meeting, they had representatives from Arizona Game and Fish that were going to come on and talk about the wolf program that they helped the Fish and Wildlife manage. However, during that 1 hour show, they decided not to take any telephone calls. It's the first time ever I've heard them not take telephone calls during a radio talk show.
Oh, baby. They don't want to deal with the obvious common sense issues.
No, rural America, which is where wolves are placed, is being determined by urban America, pseudo wolf anthropomorphism. They're giving that benefit to wildlife that is just not there. And what they're doing is these determinations are being made by city folk who never venture outside the urban sidewalks to people who live the land.
Yeah, nor would they if they knew what was actually out there.
No, they'd be scared to death to get out there.
I still keep encouraging people to go Google wolf in government clothing and watch that video.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
To see the story from the people that are mostly impacted by the release of wolves. That is the video that you need to go see.
Well, and then the other one to keep in mind is Dances with Bigfoot. So, you guys got a lot of stuff going on up there.
I love your optimism, Don.
Well, yeah, at the Oxbow Lounge. Woohoo! All right, anything else to add? We want to wish you and yours and all the fine folks up in Payson Merry Christmas and best of the holiday season, James.
Same here, Don. Looking forward to next year, and everybody out there, thanks for the support this year. Appreciate talking to you, and we'll do it again next year.
All right, God bless you. James Guggenauer, master rod builder up at Rim Country Custom Rods. He's busy.
Yeah, he is.
He is real busy. Anyway. Dr. Barr, how can we get a hold of you?
I'm with Affiliated Dermatology. You can find us at affderm.com. That is affderm.com. Or call our office at 480-556-0446.
Okay. We'll get that posted up on the Shake, Rattle, and Troll website.
Appreciate it.
Affderm, that's just precedes Aflac. Right. You needed to hear that. Come on.
Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll.
Right.
Yeah. Which office are you anchored on?
I'm in Anthem, Arizona 3 days a week, and then I go out to Surprise Tuesday and Thursday.
You're a roamer.
I'm a roamer.
That's a good thing.
Spreading the love around.
What's the biggest thing you see on skin-related issues?
Well, here in Arizona, commonly dryness, so dryness-related issues like eczema, rashes, things like that. But, of course, skin cancer is huge. We have 16-year-old kids coming in with cancers on their face already.
Really?
Yeah, so if you have a little rough spot, a scabby spot on your face or on your arm, something that just doesn't seem to go away, something that's not healing, certainly anything that bleeds and never heals, time to come in.
And if it's on my back, it's just crusty.
Oh, yours was just crusty.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of crusty parts of Don McDowell, folks.
I love this guy. I'm telling you, I'm scared to death I got something bad. They go, nope, crusty.
Well, when we went off for the segment, I walk over and he goes, barnacle. I feel like I've been out in the water too long.
Get out of here. Jeremy, how many locations do you have here in the state left over?
We got 3 left in the state. We got my Phoenix store. We have Tucson and Mesa out there in 16 Greenfield.
Who's running Tucson?
The guy that was the hunting manager at Mesa is just taking over the Tucson stores.
Just recently?
Yeah, just recently.
Nice.
So it's all the northern crew now who's running down there. So.
Can you do something to change their attitude down there? Yeah. It's got this left-wing liberal slant. Maybe you can do an influx.
Sportsman's Warehouse. Yeah, if you like baseball, hockey, or football, they're
not
the
your store.
Sportsman's Warehouse.
Just comes natural. It's what I was born to do. Don't have to think it through, baby. It's all. I feel no shame. I'm proud of where I came from. I was born in.
All right, we're back. We're going to get this thing wrapped up today. JK, Merry Christmas.
To you too, Don, and family, and Jan. Thank her as always.
Absolutely.
She tolerates you better than any human being I've ever known. She's an absolute angel.
Thank you, JK.
You're welcome.
Jeremy, anything to add on behalf of the Sportsman's Warehouse?
Just come look for me at the store, the only long-haired weirdo in there.
You're not a weirdo.
Not a weirdo, but you do have long hair.
Odd-looking fellow with long hair running around.
I'm going to get a haircut like his.
Which means you're not going to get one cut for about 6 years?
How long you been growing that?
12.
Yeah.
Really?
Got a little time in there.
Yeah, you do.
See, I'm trying to save it, though, because when all this starts disappearing, at least I'll have something back there. I'll look like a damn idiot.
No. Just get Propecia for crying out loud. Take a dose of Propecia, you'll be a happy camper.
You need to get the beard thing going on. You can join the throes of Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
I am stunned. You can buy a chia plant.
In the shape of a Duck Dynasty guy?
2 of them.
Yeah. I was hearing about this last night. They have their own wine, I guess, too. There's their wine and the chia pets.
Also been exiled from A&E.
It's ridiculous.
Wine? The Duck Dynasty wine?
Yeah, that's what I
MD
heard.
2020?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude.
Colt 45.
No, that's beer. I remember that much.
Dr. Barr, I apologize for the lack of sophistication here, but this is America at its finest.
You
right
betcha.
here.
No problem. No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I will be out to see you. Are you open next week?
You betcha. Well, I'm working, Monday and Friday.
Monday and Friday.
Barnacle Bill may show up soon, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have a couple issues. This wart up here needs to... You just freeze the wart, right?
Probably.
No, he's going to have to do a prefrontal lobotomy to make sure it goes all the way through.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of.
We might be better off for
Doc
it.
Belden started in on this thing on my leg, and 44 stitches later, he goes, "Damn, that was deep." Oh, yeah.
You should never climb fences when you're playing around with me. You know that. He got that infusion based on us doing some mountain lion hunting that was just fun but dumb.
I do have a new implement to prevent this from happening again. I have the 495 pair of diagonal side cutters in my backpack. We're not climbing over fences anymore.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry.
Ingress and egress.
Yeah. Well, I've got some baling wire to put them back together. I wouldn't leave the fence open.
Yeah, that's true. I've done that, where you have to have egress. You'll cut them, but you better have some implements to make sure that you put it back together, particularly out where the ranching community is.
Yep.
Johnny
Johnson will get you.
You don't ever want to even cut one of Johnny Johnson's fences.
It would not grow back, whatever it is.
No.
How many staff members do you have up there? And I have to tell you, they're wonderful to deal with.
In our group, we have 12 dermatologists, and we probably have about 60 staff members.
Wow.
That's a big group.
Yeah, we're a big one.
Yeah, but, there seems to be, I'm going to call it bedside manner when you walk in.
Oh, absolutely.
They're polite. fun-filled.
If they treat you well, Don, that means that they would do well anywhere.
They're happy.
Yeah, there are places in Snottsdale that you wouldn't be received well just by your exterior image, regardless of how many warts or zits you had on. Just the way you look and the way I look, we would not be received well there.
What are you saying, J.K.?
Rednecks.
Is what it is.
Is what it is.
Hoorah.
Yeah. We like it. It's okay.
I don't get it. Well, the older I get, the less I understand about America.
The more we have to tolerate.
And you know Ted Nugent.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what's going on with that guy.
You betcha.
Yeah. Let's just say there's a watch list, and I think we've already made the list, J.K.
Well, when the Motor City Madman is on the watch list, you can guarantee that he's at the top of the list. We're way at the bottom.
And since they are listening, I want you to add one more. Jeremy Hoffman. Is that with 2 F's?
Sure.
Nice. Okay. You'll find him up at Yorkshire Drive, I-17, next door to In-N-Out Burgers at the Sportsman's Warehouse.
Thanks for having me, Don.
I appreciate it. How long did those Bushmasters last, and are you going to get any more?
2 hours. Well, at that price, they lasted 2 hours. We always got them in, but that was just a deal they were running for
a 2-hour sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your ARs going for?
You start at $5.99, I believe, and go up from there.
Are you kidding me?
Serious?
That's $1,000 off. What it was a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him going for $1,900.
You do any shooting, Doctor?
I grew up on a farm in central Pennsylvania, so I grew up with hunting and fishing and all that stuff. But once I got serious with school, that all pretty much went out the window.
Yeah.
We can rework you. We can make you better.
And then you got married.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Your bride, Hunter?
We're not even going to go down that road.
She has. Yeah, she has.
Yeah.
We need to recruit.
I'll tell you what.
I'll come see you. You come see us.
His Dr. Bellman is a handful. I'm telling you.
That'd be nice. I know she's at home listening right now.
I know, but she's just awesome. I mean, she just...
Anybody who can handle you in the manner that you described off air, I applaud.
Oh, I cringe when she comes in. It's
you should.
Yeah, I hate going to the doctor. I hate it.
Don,
and
don't
when
go.
I do,
don't go.
Yeah, but sometimes I start to worry.
It's all in your head.
I'm still worried about this crusty barnacle thing going on back
I'm
there.
barnacle. You're crusty.
Okay, I got it. And you're young enough. You don't have anything yet.
I don't know. I was looking at this side here.
Yeah,
right there.
You got that little spot?
Yeah.
Did you bring your can of propane?
I didn't.
It's liquid nitrogen. It's not propane.
Hit it with a match and see what happens.
Whoosh.
You know what? About a year ago, I was out in Rocky Point fishing. I was out on a boat for 3 days, and I was gonna bring sunblock, and I forgot, and I got my tattoo on my arm. It actually started to bubble.
Ooh.
At the third day, all the outline of it just was bubbling.
Why don't you tell us the after effects of tattoos? Seriously, we haven't talked about that.
Tattoos, dermatologically speaking, no problem as long as it's done in a sterile manner. Now, I know a lot of the lower echelon tattoo parlors, so to speak, will pool the ink because the most expensive part of a tattoo is the ink.
Right.
So a lot of the lesser reputable places will reuse that ink, and that's where you can get hepatitis C and other infections. So as long as you go to a
repool the ink,
yeah, they'll exactly. So you want to avoid.
Okay, we could share a tattoo.
No, we're not going there.
So,
Jan,
medically speaking, as long as it's done in a sterile fashion, tattoos are no problem.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've heard that there were some effects for people who have massive amounts of body tattoos on their thyroid. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that.
Okay. Wives tale?
I think so.
Or Hungarian.
Gypsy tale, I know.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. Well, let's get everybody's information out. You're at, what's your physical street address?
19205 North 27th Avenue.
Next door to In-N-Out Burger.
Yes, sir.
Only Sportsman's Warehouse in the state that smells like onion rings.
And french fries.
And Larry the Cable Guy chips.
Nice.
Yeah.
And once again, for your affiliate group?
Affiliated Dermatology, afderm.com, 480-556-0446. We're in North Scottsdale, Anthem, Surprise, and Deer Valley.
Any thoughts on Obamacare?
None. One thing I can say is I'm glad at least that more people will have coverage.
One way or another.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one positive at least.
The prerequisite is there. The enforcement is my question.
It's going to be like TMR.
Mm-hmm. How are they going to capture everybody who hasn't purchased insurance, which is supposed to defray the cost? Because it's the young sitting next to me who are supposed to be insured because they are the ones who will basically pay for us. That's right.
Yeah.
But somebody will pay for them when they get to be old and gray like us.
Maybe.
It is a Ponzi scheme, but that's okay. Now, but yeah, I'd like to see everybody covered. It would be so beneficial if the people would stop going to the hospitals when they should be going to see their doctor and running up huge costs because everybody's affected by it. You know that as well.
Absolutely.
Well, really had a little bout day before yesterday at Emergicare. It was $2,500 cash.
I was in the emergency room for diverticulitis for a 2.5-hour period, and it cost came to $17,000. That one shot of morphine was expensive. $17,000, Don, for a 2.5-hour visit.
Did you savor the moment?
When I'm with morphine, you bet.
All righty, hey, we're going to get this thing wrapped up and get out of here from KFNX.com. We wish you a Merry Christmas. JK, God love you. Jeremy, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And Doc, I will see you next week.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas.
Way to go, Krusty.
Yeah, hey, take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat, salute a soldier, freedom is not free. Think about the 8th that gave it up last week for you. And welcome home, Seth. We're out of here.
Well, kiss the wife.